and seekers in the night, hopes and fears written in gold. Truth appears as stories unfold. Flip the cards, turn around mystery.
Good morning, Maureen. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the MyTarot morning reflection, daily inventory, and chance to check in with the universe. Wow, what a weekend. My weekend was non-stop, and I tell you, it was fun. Got to help some friends, but man, coming in late. I am not as young as I used to. That just means I just didn't get my beauty rest that I needed. Thank goodness I don't even drink. Whew. But I guess this is probably a good way to start the day. Good morning, Jenna and Karena. As we start rhyming here now. Marina, Jenna, Karena. Oh, it is the happy Monday. I do feel good. We were able to help two different sets of friends yesterday. Then I got to go to a small little event, and that was fun. So now I just need to make sure that I can be bright-tailed and bushy-eyed for work. So this is a good way to do it. It's our chance to check in with the universe. Na 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 na. Is that the no? Is that it's either the Batman theme or it just reminded me of Jenna, Bobena, Karina, and Marina. No, forget it. I must be tired. It's just a nice day outside. So, again, what are we doing? We are checking in with the universe. We are pretty much sitting here, and this is where the universe gets to hold up a mirror and ask us what do we see, and we get to use the tarot for that reflection. So, it's our reminder when we listen to the cards like they're the sounds of the ocean. Take that breath. Now I feel that light switch kicking in. Okay. Feet flat on the floor, butt doing the kitty dance. Shoulders finally coming down. Neck. Oh, this feels much better. I was doing all that running around again, and so, yep, this light switch feels good. Listen to the cards again. Take that extra breath. There we go. So, question is, what does the universe have for us today? Yeah, I hope everybody else had a good weekend. We had a friend who had to fly in from California. She secretly flew in. She's from the area, and she needed some help, and so it was nice to be able to just sit there, and we couldn't do a whole lot, but we were able to be there for support. But we were in a really hot storage shed for 7 or 8 hours. So that's draining. Okay, so what am I going to do here? I got our 3 different stacks, each one a different thread going out to the universe. It's like each one of these is a different thought or idea, and if we believe in the multiverse, it's like each one of these is a different path, because this stack will lead down one conversation, this stack a totally different conversation, and this stack will give us a total different direction. And I tell you what, today let's go with the center stack. Let's see what's right at the heart. Let's do our 3 and 1. And let's flip each card over one at a time like we're reading the pages of a book. And today the first card is the Ten of Wands. So, wands are our fire, our creativity, and our actions. So when we get the Ten of Wands, you know, as I always say, we have our numerology, 1 to 10. One wand is great because it's that new creative idea, that new passion. And 2 is we get to make choices. And then 4 is like 4 legs on a table. But if somebody is actually handing us these wands and we're carrying them like logs, then we get 6. And all that action and creativity and passion starts to weigh us down. And we get to 8 and 9. By the time we get to 10, this is that card that I always say to people. It's like, this is, sometimes we can see this card as the, if I don't do it, you know, who's going to do it if I don't do it? This is that card where we take on all that extra load and we feel the stress from that extra load. And again, these are minors, so I like to remind people, it's like, this is just the day-to-day stuff sometimes. You know, the majors are the ones that are our destiny cards. But this card just asks us to reflect on what are the things that we're carrying today? What's that extra load? Who's going to turn all that into a throne? Great. You just added another task. So now there's 11 wands here. So let's see what the next card is. See, and that's exactly it. So here we have the devil. That's an interesting devil. Look at this guy. And this is the Pagan Otherworld deck that I really have come to like so much. And what is the devil but nothing other than the harms we do to ourselves and others? It's all that stress that we put onto ourselves. Good morning, Ginger. It's all that stress. It's all that, you know, extra load that we put on. Probably why my eyes right now are like, ah, oh, yeah, it's really cool art. Like I say, it's just I've been kind of doing a lot of stuff for people, and sometimes personally I'll forget to like take that break. So we do all this work. We put on this extra load. And then we need to ask ourselves, what about the harm we do to ourselves or others? What is it that we're ignoring? What is it that we're not doing because we're doing all this extra stuff? And, you know, sometimes we get isolated in our own heads because we're trying to do all these things. And then we get the Two of Swords. So, swords are our thoughts, our ideas, sometimes our anxiety. They're the element of air. And so the Two of Swords is about choices. One sword is an idea. I've got this idea. And 2 says, so what are we going to do with that? And we can hold on to that Two of Swords for a really, really long time, can't we? And so does that actually relieve what we're doing? Choices is not action. You know, choices is just sitting there knowing that we need to do something and we see the options. But what are we going to do? So we have our advice card here, which is the Four of Cups. So cups are the element of water. Cups are our spirituality, our emotions, and our feelings. So here we see we have wands, swords, and now we've gone to cups. So with cups, and yeah, the artwork is amazing on this. 1 cup again, that is our beginning. That's our seed. Spirituality, emotions, feelings. 2 of them, we've made choices. 3, we progress. But the question is, once we progress, then we get to 4. You know, I talk about 4 as being about stability, like 4 legs on a table. But the question is with water. You know, water when it becomes stable. Water when it's sitting there. What happens to water? What happens if you have a pond where you don't have any fresh water coming in or out? You don't have, it's just that water that's sitting there. For whatever reason, it gets blocked. Yeah, it's, and as Maureen's saying, yeah, reading a heavy within you. So, yeah, imagine when we become emotionally stagnant, because that's what happens to a pool of water. If it doesn't flow like the Four of Cups, then we can become bored, or it's repetition, or things just aren't moving. And when things aren't moving, then it weighs us down. And so by move, I mean, here's a card that says it's nothing but movement, but by the time you have the Ten of Wands, and if you're carrying that load, how fast are you doing it? If you were to take that Ten of Wands and do it, 3 stacks and 4, if you were to break it up, then you have movement. I can carry 3 wands, 3 times really fast. But I am so weighed down by these particular things in my life. And again, these are the harms that we do to ourselves or others. And we just get stagnant because we're not making choices. We're not making the decisions. This is just how it seems like things are right now. When in all reality, we can make things flow if we think about it. What happens if I put this down, unless it's like a medical emergency or something, we can at least walk away from something for a few hours. But today, with the Devil card at the center of everything, again, what is it that we're doing? The devil, the harms that we do to ourselves or others, the things that we're not doing for ourselves. What are the things that weigh us down, make us feel like things are stagnant? Yeah, the devil would have us believe we are overburdened, but we can decide to persevere. So today, it's about taking responsibility for how we're feeling. And sometimes we have to do what we have to do. We have to do that Ten of Wands because otherwise bills don't get paid or kids don't get taken care of. But do we need to do it all now? Do we have to do everything this second? Because the devil does want us to be overburdened. And that's our conscious, when we feel guilty, or when we feel, when we allow ourselves to be negative, again, that's all that devil talk. It keeps us from being able to see our choices. So today, the simple question is that what do we need to do to get that spirit flowing again? What do we need to put down or to schedule out or say, I'll take all 10 of these, but I'm going to do them 3 at a time? Which means that in reality, we want to take all 10 and we want to accomplish that and then go to the next thing on the list and accomplish that. But we are so weighed down, nothing gets accomplished or very little. Today, it's all about just taking care of ourselves. Getting that spiritual flow again. Because the thing about the Two of Swords that I like to say is that if we don't make a decision, the next card is the Three of Swords. If we don't make a decision out of exhaustion, not stopping, or not having that emotional flow, if we don't make that decision, something will make the decision for us. And a lot of times I teach that if we're stumped on what a card means, just look at the card that comes after it, or the card that becomes before it. The next card after the Ten of Wands is what? Finally saying F it and going back to the Ace of Wands. The next after 2 is the Three of Swords, where something makes a decision for us. And think about our advice card of the Four of Cups. Five of Cups, which is about loss and challenge. It's about loss. So today, before we walk ourselves into that, we need to say something other than, if I don't do it, who will? We need to say, how can I do this and still be healthy? So that's the thing I'm coming with today, is how can we do what we need to do and still stay healthy? So with that, I hope you have an amazing day, an amazing rest of your week, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Thank you again very much, and take care.
Stars in the sky, cards in my hand, searching for signs, lost in the sand. Whispers of fate, echoes of dreams in the dark slate. Nothing's as it seems. Flip the cards, turn around. Mysteries we have found. In the shadows we dance. Take a chance, take a chance. Ghostly figures, guiding light. Readers and seekers in the night. Hopes and fears written in gold. Truth appears as stories unfold. Flip the cards, turn around. Mysteries we have found. In the shadows we dance. Take a chance, take a chance. Ghostly figures, guiding light. Readers and seekers in the night. Hopes and fears written in gold. Truth appears as stories unfold. Flip the cards, turn around. Mysteries we have found. In the shadows we dance. Take a chance, take a chance. Stars in the sky, cards in my hand, searching for signs, lost in the sand. Whispers of fate, echoes of dreams in the dark slate. Nothing's as it seems. Flip the cards, turn around. Mysteries we have found. In the shadows we dance. Take a chance, take a chance. Ghostly figures, guiding light. Readers and seekers in the night. Hopes and fears written in gold. Truth appears as stories unfold. Flip the cards, turn around. Mysteries we have found. In the shadows we dance. Take a chance, take a chance. Ghostly figures, guiding light. Readers and seekers in the night. Hopes and fears written in gold. Truth appears as stories unfold. Flip the cards, turn around. Mysteries we have found. In the shadows we dance. Take a chance, take a chance. Stars in the sky, cards in my hand, searching for signs, lost in the sand. Whispers of fate, echoes of dreams in the dark slate. Nothing's as it seems. Flip the cards, turn around. Mysteries we have found. In the shadows we dance. Take a chance, take a chance. Ghostly figures, guiding light. Readers and seekers in the night. Hopes and fears, written in gold. Truth appears as stories unfold. Flip the cards, turn around. Mysteries we have found. In the shadows we dance. Take a chance, take a chance. Ghostly figures, guiding light. Readers and seekers in the night. Hopes and fears, written in gold. Truth of